be able to weather the storms even now. I know a lot of people have struggled with finances in these last few years. And so that's why we started a series called the Mastering Your Money series. It started 2 weeks ago. And I have with me in the studio my guest from 2 weeks ago, Isaac Oladipupo, is known as Africa's money storyteller, here to share some words of wisdom, if you will, as to how we can weather through these times. Okay, at the end of the day, in some of all of these things that are happening, there are people who are still able to take advantage. Now, I'm not talking about insecurity now. I'm talking about the economic windfall, if you will. Is it a windfall or a downfall? I don't want to use some kinds of terms, but the truth is that we are all dealing with what is happening to us in this country economically. And so we started this series so that we can weather through these times and come out on top. Okay, so let's have Isaac back with us again in the studio this evening. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you for being patient with us. And, we've lived through the football match that made us not have this conversation last week. And now we are here to deal with our realities again. So thank you for joining us once more.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Somi, and well done.
Thank you so much. So we started out the series talking about dealing with the rising cost of inflation. And you shared some nuggets. Perhaps for people who were not around 2 weeks ago, if you could just do like some quick bullet points as to where we were with that conversation so that we can continue from there today.
Yeah, basically, first off, I'd like to say good evening, guys. Good evening, my people. Hope we are doing well today. I really empathize with what is happening in the country. It's a very interesting situation. So before we even talk about money, let me speak to your hearts. I know this season has been very heavy. Prices are rising. Salaries are not matching up. Salaries are not taking people home anymore. But hear this: you are not failing. The system is failing us, right? But at such a time as this is when we need to remember that there's something called wisdom. I know it can be very hard, but times like this actually demand for a great sense of wisdom, great sense of execution, thinking differently and doing things a lot differently.
Yeah.
So in terms of where we left it last week, I think last week we spoke extensively about the current situation, how people can, save money in this economy. And we're looking at the different options of how people can begin to also do things differently in terms of, okay, if you currently buy food out, you want to minimize how much you do that, especially if you're a family, because in some areas you'll be surprised that buying food outside for single people might actually be more cost effective. That's how interesting the economy has gotten, right? But essentially, it's really about applying wisdom.
Yeah.
It's about sitting down to say, okay, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? What do I need to start doing now, irrespective of what is happening around me? Because one of the things that we also shared last time was that, yes, all of these things are happening in Nigeria, but essentially, you'll be very surprised or not surprised to also know that while all of these things are happening, people are also cashing out big time like never before in this economy. This economy is also producing billionaires and millionaires. So that's why I said right now, it also calls for thinking differently. So for instance, one of the things we want to also look into at such a time as this is, what are the new ways that I can apply my skill sets to start bringing in new revenue streams. Why? Because if you currently earn money with a company, you work with an organization right now, it simply means that you have a skill that you are exchanging for value. Now, what does that also mean? It also means that you can use that skill in a different place to also bring more value to yourself. So for instance, if you are a product designer for an organization right now, you earn a salary. What stops you from creating content around how you do what you do and selling that content on platforms like Amazon, like Seller? What stops you from creating content and putting on YouTube to teach others how you do what you do? Now, while you do that, teaching others, blessing others, trust me, value will come back to you. People will start looking at looking out for you for consultancy. They'll start looking out for you, for personal consultation. They'll start looking out for, okay, do you have an ebook? Do you have a course that I can do? These are creative ways to start mitigating what is happening right now.
Yeah.
The other thing you also want to do is, okay, where do I want to be in the 5 years? What do I need to start doing right now to position myself such that in 5 years, I am not making excuses. I am actually in a better place than I currently am. Because essentially, the best the government would do is, make news regarding new policies and whatnot. But the government cannot dream for you. The government cannot eat for you. The government cannot plan for you. And trust me, those are the key things that determine the outcome of your life. There are people thriving irrespective of how bad the economy is. And my goal really this evening is to get you to be one of those people who are thriving irrespective of what is happening in Nigeria right now.
All right. Thank you so much for doing a bit of a refresher. So in one word, if we were to summarize our discussion last time, it was basically around increasing your income streams, basically. Yeah. Now, that being a great starting point, and also when we spoke 2 weeks ago, we spoke to the fact that whatever it is that you're earning right now, you can look around, you can work around increasing your income stream. So this is for you who is listening right now, whether you're earning 50,000 naira, whether you're earning 70,000 naira, whether you're earning 80,000 naira, because the truth is sometimes, even for people who are earning, I don't know if I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, I have somebody who at one point was earning over 300,000 naira a month and was in severe pain, as we say in the Nigerian parlance, because the value of the money has dropped. So however, whatever it is that you're earning, you must look to other options. And sometimes when we say these things, it sounds like some kind of motivational speech, but it takes a lot of the time, some very difficult decisions that you have to make to help you streamline and also help you plan. Now, speaking about planning, I think that's where we're taking up the conversation this week. I don't know, when we're talking about budgeting, is it some academic exercise? Because sometimes I think of, when I hear the word budgeting, I go to when it was that I was working in a bank, and they will have you draw up these very intense looking documents with figures here, figures there, figures there. Budgeting, let's break it down in a way. If I were to simplify it, I think in my head it is planning for your future spending. Is that a way to put it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, you are very correct, actually, Somi. So budgeting is simply telling your money exactly where it should go before it even comes in. Because again, the major reason why some of us feel like, we're earning money, but we're not moving forward, is simply because money is telling us where it should go. We are not the ones telling money where it should go. So, and that's the power of budgeting. When you start budgeting, you change the dynamics. You tell your money that, guy, I'm in charge. You're no longer in charge, right? So budgeting is simply telling your money where to go before it decides for you. So budgeting is not punishment. Budgeting is not restriction. It's not suffering.
It feels like it sometimes, I'm not going to lie.
It does. But the beautiful thing is, the question I always love to get people to ask themselves is, would you rather be in the same situation in 2 years? Or would you rather pay now by maintaining some level of discipline so you can play later? Because again, you can't have both. In life, it's either you have the pain of discipline or the pain of regrets. So if you pay now means that you want to learn what it takes to get yourself to a better tomorrow when that tomorrow comes. Because whether we like it or not, tomorrow will come. So budgeting is simply saying, this month, my money will behave. It will feed me, it will fuel my goals, and it will also secure my future, right? But when you don't do that, the truth is, life is designed in such a way that no matter how much you earn, expenses will always rise to meet income. So for instance, if you earn 500K, you are making an example of your friend that earns 300K.
Yes.
There are people who even earn 1 million naira on a monthly basis, and they are struggling. Yes, I speak to some people like that. almost on a weekly basis. They are struggling in this same economy, 1M, and they are struggling and they are in debt.
More money, more problem. That's what they say, right?
Exactly. But what I found is when they come and we have a conversation and we're able to distill everything, it's almost like light bulbs are going off in their brain. Because I'm like, yeah, money's coming, I just spend it, I want to give people, I want to do this. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way, right? Anything that has to grow must be orderly, right? You don't grow big to manage well, you manage little very well, and then you grow big as a result. So, and that's the power of budgeting. Budgeting is you putting yourself in the driving seat of your finances to say, guy, this is how we are going to spend you to this month so that tomorrow I am going to be a better Isaac. The other way around is to say, okay, money is coming in and I'm going to spend it however the situation is. And guess what? The situation will always arise to swallow your money because there will be friends who have issues, who need something. There will be family who need something. And what I found is that the way to even show your family that you love them is by preserving your future so that you can be there for them permanently in that future.
I have to ask Isaac, because we are in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, there is the African thing about family. Then there's the Nigerian in us. I mean, picture you're having this conversation with an Ada, a firstborn child, a female, even a male, whoever, firstborn child, really. And, you're talking about, the way to preserve, how did you put it? It sounded all very nice and good.
Yeah.
But if you were really and truly to get in the control, to get in the driver's seat of whatever it is. Now, let's establish, first and foremost, you have multiple streams of income before you want to begin to have this conversation. Or can you have this even on one stream of income? Because there's also that thing of how much do I, like some people say, I earn so little, I can barely save. How much more invest? Or I can barely budget it. Like you are talking to people who, I myself included, because at some point, before I became a member of your community, at some point, I literally would go for almost a year. And the mindset is, salary where I don't spend before you even come. This is a lot of us, really. Absolutely. And truly. So let me start with first, please. Is it really a practical thing to do within the African and the Nigerian context, one? And then two, can you budget on one stream of income, no matter how little you are earning?
Yeah, great. I'm going to take it. That's a beautiful question, by the way, Somi. So I'm going to take it from the other case, right?
Yes.
Because we have many others around us.
Mm-hmm.
Firstborn, you have to fend for, you probably have 3 siblings that are behind you. They are calling you, auntie, I have to pay school fees and this and that. Yeah, we cannot deny that fact. It actually exists. Then I would answer that. Then I would take it to the point of, can you budget or can you save on one stream of income?
Okay.
So now, Ada, well done first, Ada. Well done on carrying the responsibility of multiple people, right? I've been there, even though I'm a last one. I've also felt like an Ada at some point in my life. I still do, so I can totally relate to that. Now, here's the thing. Whether we like it or not, Ada would grow. Ada will not stop our life because of our family members. And also, whether we like it or not, Ada loves our family members. She loves our younger ones. She loves our parents. She has to fend for almost everybody.
Exactly.
But here's the truth Ada also has to come to terms with, right? And it's the truth that no matter how much you earn, it is impossible to meet the needs of everyone around you. It is practically impossible. The day you get to the point where you feel like you want to save everybody, you have actually gotten to a point where you have considered yourself to be God, because the only person that can fend for everyone on earth, and not feel it is God. As long as you are human, Ada, you have to choose your battles. You have to choose the things you can deal with on a monthly basis, and that's where budgeting comes in. And I'll give an example. Now, there's something, and I'm so glad that you used the case study of Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah.
Now, there's something we call the crab mentality in Africa, in Nigeria. It's very simple. And it's an experiment I would like for anybody to carry out. And it's also about crabs. You know, crabs, we call it akon in Yoruba. You know, crabs. When you put one crab inside a bucket, you know, what you find is that that crab would actually find its way out over time. Now, when you add another crab into that bucket, another crab, you know, they become 2 or 3 or 4. Once it is more than one, go and try it. What you find is that no crab would ever find their way out of that bucket. Why? Because as one is trying to come out, the other will pull it down. That's what happens in the average Nigerian or African home. So you find that, okay, in the family, other, you know, everybody tries to send Ada to school. Then Ada finally got a job. Ada is earning 300K. And because Ada is suddenly earning 300K, everyone's responsibilities on Ada. Now, unfortunately, that's when that happens and it is not curtailed by Ada, that is the most that family would ever be. And I would explain. At that point when Ada starts earning 300K, what Ada has is not financial breakthrough. What Ada has is potential to break through. Potential is different from reality. Potential means that you have the capacity to break through financially and save everybody. Now, while you are still on that 300K, as long as everybody tries to put their responsibility on you and you don't have the restriction or the discipline to say, yes, I want to help, but this is the budget I have for helping for this month. Every month, allot a budget for helping people. Once that budget is expended, that is the end for that month. Then people have to wait for the next month. And every month, repeat, rinse and repeat. Why? Because you want to have something from that money to save and invest. That is the only thing that then guarantees that your potential will become reality. But as long as you keep spending the entire money in meeting needs, what then happens is you will get stuck at that level for life. And then it is even worse for the family because it means that nobody will rise above that level. But as long as you can say, okay, yeah, on a monthly basis, I earn 300K, 50% will go to my needs, which is everything you have to do, food, clothing, brother, sister, and of course, 30K will go into my wants and 20K will go into investments. What has happened there is that you are not saying you are not helping, or you are helping to a particular degree on a monthly basis. And what that helps you to do is it then helps you to start building wealth gradually. And you can look back in 5 years to say, wow, despite the responsibility that I have to take, now I have some level of financial succor. I can build wealth, I can help more people, I can help my family on a sustainable basis. But as long as you keep expending that 300K on a monthly basis, that is the most it will ever be. On the second one about multiple streams, I would say that it depends on your situation. I like to say that financial money and investment and savings, financial advice is really not one. It's never one size fits all, right? Because people's situations are different.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, for instance, if there's anybody, I don't know if there's anyone in Nigeria that earns 50K up until today.
Sir, they are
Really?
plenty. They are
Really?
plenty. Oh yes,
Wow.
please. Yes.
Then we have a really long way to go. If there are people earning that amount, well, I would say that the first thing to do at that level is actually to find a way to increase your skill sets. Increase your skill sets. And what do I mean by increase your skill sets? It means if you're earning 50K, there is a level of skill that you need to develop that naturally you will leave that level. That's what should be your focus at that stage, not trying to invest, because if everybody is telling you to try to invest with 50K, that's, in my opinion, is not a great advice, right? So what you want to do at that level is still budget, but ensure that all the money you should be saving at that level, put that money into acquiring more skill, because that skill is then what will help you to attract a higher paying job. That should be your focus at that level. If you're earning 50K below, focus on getting a part of that money to increase your level of skill at whatever it is that you do. Now, once you now start increasing your skill set, better opportunities will come your way. Either you change jobs, or you get a freelance work, or you are doing something, some side gigs, whatever it is. As long as you are able to begin to earn more than that, then you want to start looking at, okay, what can I put my money into? How can I save? How can I invest? Then we can go into our conversation.
Okay. Let's take a break, pay some bills. When we come back, we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty. Yes, Isaac Oladipupo has said there's no one-size-fits-all, and I'm keen on exploring that, especially as it comes to budgeting, because, it depends on what you're earning. It depends on how many streams of income you have. Those are some of the factors I think that will play in when it comes to budgeting. But just to get into more of the specifics, all of that after the break. Stay with us.
Did you miss university admission this year or want to switch to a tech career? Don't worry, your future is still bright. At LCPD Institute, you can start your BSc degree journey with our professional advanced diploma in software engineering, networking and cybersecurity, or multimedia design, and also gain real tech skills. Or you can take our short career courses on digital marketing, data science, AI, ethical hacking, or web design in just a few months. Learn fast, learn smart, launch your tech career today. Here's the best part. Study 2 years at LCPD, then transfer your credits abroad or locally to finish your BSc in 1 extra year with our partner universities in the UK, Malaysia, UAE, and Nigeria. At LCPD Tech Institute, we turn dreamers into doers. Apply now for the 2025-2026 session. Visit www.lcpd-abuja.com or WhatsApp 070-6692-0710. LCPD. Your future starts here.
In today's marketplace, trust is everything. For buyers, it means safety and confidence. For sellers, it means more sales. And for platforms, it means real growth. That's why we bring you Trust Mark. One badge, one symbol, total confidence. Together, we are stopping fraud, protecting customers, and making online shopping safer for everyone. Look for the Trustmark logo, a green circular seal, 2 golden stars, and at its heart, the map of Nigeria with a bold white check mark. Around it, the words, Building Trust in Nigeria's Digital Future. This project is implemented by NITDA and NASIMA with support from GIZ, the German Agency for International Cooperation in Nigeria. For more information, please visit www.trustmark.gov.ng. Terms and conditions apply. Trust Mark. Trust it. Verified. Yours.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? Eh? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so. You don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Hey, thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemeta and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Bro, looks like you've joined the big boys gang, bro. What's with this new set of sneakers you've been wearing lately?
Man, it's Skechers, oh. They feel so light, soft and comfortable. I don't feel those back pains I used to feel anymore.
So it's comfort now that's making you look like a fashion influencer.
I also bought some Havaianas and Reeboks too. They are stylish, lightweight and durable. I could wear them all day and not feel a single discomfort.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good. There's nothing you want to tell me. You're now a big boy.
Oh God, leave me alone. Go and buy your own. They are currently on Black Friday discount sales.
That's right. The Black Friday season is here again. Enjoy unbeatable discounts on all Havaianas, Reebok and Skechers sneakers, slides and lifestyle footwears that keep you looking stylish and feeling great. Visit any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja or Port Harcourt, or you can shop online on our website at shopbco.com to grab yours before the discounts are gone.
Whether you're buying smoky jollof from your favorite spot in Ikeja, shopping online for your latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, or click. So many options get so easy with layers of security protecting every payment. Your money stays safe.
From Danfo to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard, safe, convenient, priceless.
Leap Africa proudly presents its 12th Social Innovators Program and Awards Super Event. This year's theme, Africa as the Sector, maximizing possibilities through technology, finance, and policy, celebrates bold youth-led innovation shaping the future of our continent. Date, Tuesday, 25th of November 2025. Venue, 4 Point by Sheraton, Uniru, Victoria Island, Lagos. To register, visit www.leapafrica.org or call 0707-492-7121. SIPA, where innovation meets impact.
Yes, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery.
S-E-L-A-R-I-E. Celery.
Bros, you want turn am to salary? Okay, spell turmeric.
T-U-R-M-E-R-I-C.
Yes, so
turmeric.
Correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you.
Maggi chicken flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
Come on, Ibe. I hear say we go soon finish to collect our monthly pension alawi.
Haba, how man won't take survive?
Alagba. Now wait I hear be that too.
Now so my people, but make una no worry. With Cornerstone Annuity Plan, retirees fit they collect their alawi steady till them kaput. If you be retiree with the use Cornerstone Annuity Plan, now every month them go they summer you a lot pam for your phone. No matter your age, you no fit finish the whole money till you die. Cornerstone now baba for industry. Them know they tell story on top your monthly pension alawi. Now only death fit stop up.
Ibe, oh yeah, make we go Cornerstone Insurance.
It never finish oh. Even when retiree buy within the guarantee period of 10 years, him beneficiary fit collect him remaining benefits. The process they fast and easy as far as the proposal form where the deceased retiree sign before him die don't contain all their names. Visit cornerstone.com.ng or call 0201-280-6500 for more tori. Cornerstone Insurance, the future assured.
Ya bayyana.
Daga 27 ga watan Oktoba zuwa 31 ga watan Disamba, more rawa mai har na 40,100 akan wayar zamani na Poco.
Samu kowane wayar Poco ka kuma samu damar yin nasarar zuwa kasar Turai a kyauta.
Dakata, zababbun samfura na zuwa tare da kyautar shinkafa da man girki gare ku.
Duba sabbin wayar Poco C85, wayayyen zabi, farashi mai sauki.
Poco, ka zama wayayye, ka zabi Poco.
The energy from breakfast doesn't last my child the whole day. By halftime, your champ will be low on energy. That's why break time is the right time to refuel with the nourishing Milo drink.
Keep your champ in the game with a Milo drink in their lunchbox. It's made from the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and contains iron and calcium. Milo drink has a great taste your champs will love and a nourishing energy to help them make the most of every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Whether you're buying smoky jollof from your favorite spot in Ikeja, shopping online for your latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, or click. So many options get so easy with layers of security protecting every payment. Your money stays safe.
From Danfo to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard, safe, convenient, priceless.
Look at this guy. You think you had it rough? I had to cross 6 flooded streets for my exam. Guy, please. Me? I had to switch outfits in a moving downfall on the expresso on the way to my cousin's wedding. Bro, that one did light. I carried my mattress, suitcase, and my final year project on a bike through flood, sun, and traffic, just like my grandfather back in the day. I exaggerated. What? Anyway, I'm no longer stressing myself to move around again. I have the option of both light, both economy, or when my funds are super low and I need that reliability, there's even both Okada and Keke. For real? Boats don't come.
From early morning hustles to late night commutes, Bolt is always here for you. Download the app and use the code BOLTSTEADY to get 2,500 Naira off your next 4 rides. Don't forget, any season, any reason, now Bolt.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
This is an infomercial. The unisex fragrance Wazobia perfume is available in both perfume and body spray. Wazobia perfume comes in cartons of 24 bottles and the body spray is available in cartons of 48. For retail and wholesale purchases, contact us at email contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng or call us on 0201 330 0047. Our team is ready to assist you with your orders. Wazobia Perfume, the correct scent. Your new signature fragrance is just a call or click away. Authentic, unisex, confidence. Wazobia.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
This is Hard Facts.
Hard Facts. On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
All right, let's get back into the conversation. It's a series on how to master your money, and this applies to you, I believe, I'm sure, if you have lived in Nigeria in the past 2 to 3 years, and possibly even if you're outside of the country. A lot is going on that if you don't get a hold of your finances, you just find that you're literally living from hand to mouth. And this is whether you are earning 50,000 naira, especially for those who are earning, of course, under 100,000 naira. But even more so, just as our guest has shared earlier on, even for people who are earning in millions, we need to be able to have a proper understanding of how it works. And I like the way he put it. He says, for a lot of us, the money tells us what to do with it, as opposed to us telling the money what to do. And so that's why we are on budgeting today. My guest is an award-winning finance and education advisor, Isaac Oladipupo. He has been helping Africans generally as far as getting in touch with finances and knowing how to best handle themselves. He's also known as Africa's money storyteller. Thank you so much for staying on and having this conversation with us.
My pleasure.
Yes. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this budgeting matter. We have dispelled what some people would say are myths. For example, I cannot budget on 50,000. No matter how much you're earning, you ought to be able to budget from what you said, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a hard and fast rule to budgeting? As far are there specific components that you must include in your budget if it's going to work?
Yeah, good question. I think the basic thing really is to know where you want to be. At the end of the day, all of life really revolves around your personal purpose. So you are in the driver's seat, the control seat of your life, and you should be able to control everything about yourself in alignment with your God, right? So when it comes to budgeting, the same thing applies. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? So, and it starts really with a simple formula, as simple as there's something that I call the 50-30-20 principle. What does that mean? It means that irrespective of how much you earn, you can actually divide it into 3 categories: 50, 30, 20. What does that mean? 50% goes into what we call your needs. What are needs? Needs are things that you have to do on a monthly basis to get by. So things like food, things like accommodation, things like transportation, things that are very important, critical, you cannot do without them. Those fall under your needs. And that's for 50%. That's why it's the most. Then we've got the 30%, right? Where does that go? That goes into your wants. Now, what are wants? Wants are basically things that you still need to enjoy life, and that's why a lot of people don't budget, because they feel like, they don't want to be restricted. And I always say, see, budgeting doesn't mean restriction. It simply means order, right? So, because you can actually still have fun while budgeting. And that's where we have the 30%. Where does that go into? It goes into things that you do for fun. Maybe you want to hang out with your friends. You want to renew your Netflix subscription. But they are essentially things that you can do without, but you still love to do to at least, you work for this money. You also deserve to enjoy a little bit, isn't it? Good. And then the third part, which is the 20%, should then go into your goals. What are your goals? That's your savings and your investments. And that's where we then cross into how to save, why should you save, and what, all of those things. And in talking about should you save or should you not save, I'll tell you a quick story about 2 friends. So let's say there are 2 friends. There's Tunde and there's Kunle. They both earn, let's use the amount you mentioned earlier. They both earn 300K, right, on a monthly basis. Now, so Sunday saves 50K every month in a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kole also Kole invests 50K, the same amount, on a monthly basis in a simple mutual fund that earned 15% annually. So remember, both of them are doing what? They are keeping 50K away from their 300K monthly salary, right?
Yeah.
The only difference is that Tunde is saving. He just has money sitting in the bank. While Kunle is what? Investing the same 50K. Guess what happens after 5 years? Tunde they both would have saved 3 million naira, contributed 3 million naira, 50K every month for 5 years. That's 3M. Or guess how much Tunde would have? Because he was only saving, he would have only that 3M. But Kunle, who has also only contributed 3M, would have 4.3 million naira.
How?
How? Because he invested instead of saving, right? And that's why budgeting, saving, and investment over time, they actually save you. The money you save eventually saves you from troubles, actually, especially when you put it in the right buckets, when you put it in the right instruments. It's the same discipline, the same efforts, but one became richer by 1.3 million without working harder, just by having his money in the right instruments. So the first thing is to save your money in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second part really is then how do you then build this culture? How do you make, because for a lot of people, they want to do these things, they just are not disciplined.
That's the budgeting, right?
Exactly, budgeting.
Sorry, before you move to the next part, I need to clarify. 50, 30, 20.
Yes.
Can the percentages change depending on, again, like you said, where this person wants to go in life? Because I'm thinking right now, I'm like, I don't know that I have 30 for Jaye. Like, I mean,
I love that.
I don't know that I have it. Like, literally, I have to cut down on, what's that thing? There's a thing, there's this thing, the kind of money you put away for, eat fish here, go and hang out somewhere. I've had to cut down on it because literally,
disposable income.
Disposable income, that's the word. Thank you so much. So I personally have had to cut down on it because in my bid to try and get to this my goal, and sometimes when we're thinking about the goal, I think sometimes some of us, I don't know, this is me, I'm like, think about 1 year ahead first.
No judgment zone.
Think about 1 year ahead first. When you think about a 5-year goal, I'm like, So I'm like, if I can get past the first 1 year, I do this budgeting thing, get past the first 1 year, then I'm like, Odeshi, let's go 3 years.
Let's go. Let's be good. We move.
Yes, but for me to get to that point, I feel like maybe 50% might have to become 40, and then the 30% might have to become a 20 or a 10, so that I can get close, I can get to my 1 year goal a little bit faster. That can happen, right?
Absolutely, Somi. So I'll tell you what, I usually use that particular formula because for many people, the scare is always, I don't want to save all my money and all of those things. But that is not a real deal. It's not a truth, because essentially, as long as you can maintain balance, you can make this work. So the reason why we've made it so flexible with that formula, 50, 30, 20, so that we don't scare people away. But essentially, you can actually adjust that formula based on your situation. It is not one size fits all. And I'll give you an example, just like you have given yourself as an example, that you don't do 20% of your goals.
Yes.
The same thing with myself as well. When I started saving, when I started investing, I remember my first job, my first professional job, actually, I was started with 40K, it was increased to 80K within the same year. And while many people save 10% at that time, 10%, 20%, I was saving as much as 50, 60%. And that's why today, when I speak to people, of course, that formula is what I give, so that the first thing you want to do for people is to get them to build that habit first. So when you make the bar so high, it scares people away and say, no, I can't save. I should save all that much. But when you say 50, 30, 20, when they begin the habits, because habit forms over time, we are creatures of habits.
Yes.
And they say that, this is actually possible, then they can begin to increase the amount they actually save and invest.
Okay.
So for me, I had to do that because I asked myself a very simple question. The same thing you ask yourself, actually. Guy, if I'm saving at this rate, how long will it take me to get it?
Yeah.
And the way I like to see the amount you then decide to save, while that formula is basic, it's a basic starting point, you can adjust it based on how fast you want to go, right?
Okay.
And I'll say what determines how you adjust it really is where you want to be and how fast you want to be there.
Okay.
So for instance, if you are from a Nepo background now, you can do anything you want to do. You can't tell some rich people children now to save that much because they have a lot of
disposable income
to spend, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it depends on what is chasing you. The way you do when you are being chased by a 2-year-old is different from the way you run when a lion is chasing you.
Agreed. We have a caller here. Let's take this quickly. Hello.
Hello, Somi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Aki.
Mr. Aki, good to have you here.
Thanks for joining us.
Your guests are speaking very well. I was with you guys last time, and I'm with you now. It's a very nice topic.
Thank you, sir.
And people should learn. My own contribution is about the budget. Budgeting is very good. But the question is, when you are budgeting, are you doing a balanced budget, a deficit, or surplus budgeting? Most times, many of us will tend to do deficit budgeting. And when you do a deficit budgeting, you are forced to borrow to finance your deficit. It becomes an issue. But when you do a balanced budget, fine. No gain, no loss. It's very risky too. So most times we should try as much as possible to do a surplus budget. And from that, your surplus budget, that will take you to the circular flow of income. Because when you earn income and you spend everything, you will not save. And when you don't save, you don't get wealth, you become poor in the long run. But when you earn income and you save, you're able to invest and create wealth for the future. But most time, people cannot do this because there's something they call in economics the propensity to save and propensity to consume. And this gives you the ratio that your guest is talking about. So you need to create a ratio for yourself. Look at your income. The most time when you are insatiable or your propensity to consume is very high, you end up become poor. So you try as much as possible to ensure that your propensity to consume is low while your propensity to save is very high. And when you save, when you continue that culture over time, it becomes part of you. When you don't save, it's still something is happening to you. So let's avoid the situation where we consume today and we don't delay our gratification. When you cannot delay your gratification, you become poor in the long run. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's take this one on very quickly. Good evening, sir. Elder Bangoshe, good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, ma. I greet my last caller, Kwaki. You see, this topic is very good, though. But sometimes, some of us, it's very hard for us to follow the reality. Because the system of the economy we operate right now, you can see that the marginal propensity to consume is more high than to save. Because the income cannot even meet up with the existing problem. So it's only God that will help us. Amen. But it's good to be disciplined so that at the end of the day, at the end of the year, you can have something to fall back on. And people that are training children, you have children in school, you have this one in that, they just call you this random call. Daddy, I need 25,000. Daddy, I need 50,000 to buy handout. Before you know, this other one will call you. Before you know, this other. And sickness is also there. Small children around you, they can also fall sick. So God will help us. For family man, sometimes it's hard though. But with God, all things are possible. But we need to be disciplined with our spending. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder. Thank you so much. We'll get our guest reaction in a little bit. But let me just take these messages. Somi, help me tell your guests that a lot of Nigerians, majorly breadwinners of families, even earn less than 50,000 naira. In fact, some unemployed are even paying agents to get a job that they earn 50,000 naira. To be specific, most security men at various stores and supermarkets and recreational centers don't earn up to 50,000 naira. But what I love about your guest presentation is the fact that he encourages everyone not to depend on one source of income. Ororo-son from Kuba, he says, my opinion, good evening, and thank you. This one here says, good evening, Madam Somi and your guest. Wouldn't it be better if I put my 30% for my wants to my savings so that it can be 50% for my needs and 50% for my savings? He's asking. All right. And then the Queen says, hello, Somi, when your guest says save, what does it really mean? Keep the money in the bank? Hope this tax reform will not affect it. What is mutual fund? Also, he's asking. Is it okay to invest in mutual trust funds? That's from the Queen. Sir, we have seconds before the commercial break, and then we have the news at 6. If you would be so kind as to stay on after 6 for like the next 5 minutes to take on all of these contributions from our listeners, we'd be grateful. Would that work?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Fantastic. So we'll do that. Let's take the break, people. We'll be back. My phone lines are buzzing. We'll be back to take on all of that after this.
More talk, news, and sports after this. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.